Liverpool won big yesterday, Arsenal won big yesterday. As you say, City dropped points, but if you played that game 10 more times, they'd probably win it 9 because Haaland would score. So you've got, as it were, nothing fresh to say in terms of developments in the title race.
No, it's a good weekend for Arsenal and Liverpool because they've dropped points, City, that you wouldn't expect them to drop points. But I'm not sat here thinking, oh, well, City looked rocky, City looked off it, City looked like they might be going backwards. No, that was a game that City, to be fair, in any other week would win 3 or 4-1 with the chances that they created.
I disagree with Gary Neville here. I think he's being very disrespectful to Liverpool, and I think he's being very disrespectful to Arsenal. This weekend doesn't mean City are not the favourites anymore. I agree with that. But you're ignoring the abundance of clear-cut chances Chelsea also had. Chelsea could have scored 2 or 3 more goals in that game. You're ignoring the fact that Manchester City have been leaking numerous counter-attacking goals for weeks. Secondly, I know Gary Neville himself didn't say this, but he's giving his opinion based on what the general narrative is. The narrative was City were going to win 10 to 15 games on the bounce. That's been stopped. They've got some tricky ties coming up. I don't think this weekend was as insignificant as people are making out. Not for me personally. I think just saying, it means something to Arsenal and Liverpool. It means nothing to Man City when you look at the quality of Liverpool. You look at the stability and the quality of Arsenal. I think this is downplaying what was a seismic weekend in the title race.
So maybe sometimes you need that little bit of luck. Arsenal, they shouldn't get carried away, Arsenal. I said it last week. Exactly the same. Composure. They're doing all the right things. They're hitting form at the right time. Still a long way to go, obviously, but they're in a decent place. If you said to Mikel Arteta at the start of the season, this is where we'd be. If you said to Jurgen Klopp at the start of the season, this is where we'd be, both of them would have said, yeah, I'll take that.
I agree. I agree completely with what Gary Neville was saying here. I think Arsenal especially. Liverpool, I think they can be the front runners. They've won league titles recently, Champions Leagues. Me and Sava obviously got into a big debate about this, and I think a lot of people didn't understand where I was coming from. I think being on the shoulder of the leaders is exactly where this Arsenal team, at their age, at this stage of their development, at this stage of their journey, I think it's the best position for them. Although, yes, having a 3.5 point, 6 point, 7 point lead at the top, typically speaking, is better. The pressure that comes with that, I don't know if it's good for this Arsenal team at this point when they don't quite know. They may believe it, and believing something and knowing something are fundamentally different. I think they're in exactly the right place. But acting as though this weekend and City dropping points to Chelsea isn't seismic, I think it's a little bit disrespectful. Let's have a little look here at a video from TalkSport. Let's take a little listen.
We knocked in, but it's all about Liverpool and Man City still. But no one seems to be talking, are we real title contenders?
Do you know? And you know what's really interesting? I've seen a lot of Arsenal fans. I listened to a lot of TalkSport this weekend. Quite a few gooners have said, why are we still not being respected? Of course, we know there's Arsenal hate. We know there's people that are annoyed with what Arsenal were doing. There's a lot less criticism now of Arsenal. The airways used to be full of people angry when Arsenal were doing well. I don't think the haters have got anywhere to go now. So what they're actually doing is ignoring Arsenal. Almost, if I ignore it and look in the other direction, if I bury my head in the sand, maybe they're going to go away.
You know what, Peter? I think for this Arsenal team, especially what's happened over the last 18 months, I think the less said, the better. Yeah. I think keep the pressure off and just keep going about your business. And then all of a sudden you'll find you'll be taken on against Manchester City and the pressure feels like it's not on and you've been beating teams for fun.
I agree. I agree with that notion, that take. If I was an Arsenal fan, you're not being slagged off like you were 3 months ago. You're not being completely written off in the same way as you were last year, where your lead and your performances meant nothing. That silence now is deafening to people that doubted you. 2 years of consistently playing well with a few blips here and there. You're in an excellent position and everybody knows you're genuine title contenders. Whether they want to admit it publicly or not, you are where you want to be. And we know that based on what Jamie Carragher did just a few short weeks ago, complaining about the celebrating, get down the tunnel, what are you doing here? The annoyance is there, but it almost peaked at that point because I want to show you a little bit of footage for a second. Let's see it again. Again, hang on, we'll do it again. Yeah, cool. I thought we'd just double check it. That's after Liverpool won a game. And I still haven't seen Jamie Carragher tweet or make a video stating Klopp should get down the tunnel, that the fans should stop over celebrating. It's only a win. It's only 3 points. What does it really matter? Because Man City are still the favourites. Doesn't exist. Which, as I said before, there is a genuine disdain, a genuine annoyance from people that Arsenal have stayed the course. Some of it is their dislike for the club. Others, it's because they're not big enough to admit that they've made a mistake when it comes to their prediction. That's a weakness in them. It is what it is. But on a sort of jovial side and having a bit of a joke, I still yet to see Jamie Carragher call out Jurgen Klopp. But he's going to call Jurgen Klopp out. For all the Liverpool fans crying now, you haven't waited till 6 minutes and 5 seconds. Klopp did nothing wrong. Absolutely. And I know people go, but he's always done fist pumps. It doesn't matter whether he's always done them or just started doing it. Celebrating with your fans a win is absolutely acceptable every single day of the week. There is no reason to never not celebrate goals, wins, etc., especially when you're top of the league as well, and you just put all the pressure on City and Arsenal in games to come. It's crazy. But as we know, there's only 2 teams in the Premier League who are treated completely differently from everybody else, and that is Arsenal and Manchester United at the moment. By the media, that is. Rivals do it to each other, it's fair. But yes, I think Arsenal fans should be happy with exactly where they lie in the land right now.
The big 0 conceded is a massive factor, because that's where we're head and shoulders above everyone else. It's the clean sheet record. You know, we're top of the league on that front. And who cares how many City are scoring, Haaland are scoring, because at the end of the day, we've got the best defence.
Yeah.
William Saliba, Gabriel have been phenomenal the last couple of games.
And they've shown it against City as well.
And they have.
Yeah.
And they've proven we are the best defensive team in the league. So we really can go and compete with the best attacking team in the league. That's the way I see it. Liverpool floating around in the middle. They'll probably fall off pretty soon.
Oh,
that's a massive statement there. I don't think Liverpool are going to fall off. I think it's a bit disrespectful to Liverpool. I think Liverpool are going to be there pretty much until the end. They may not look the most convincing at times, but they know how to get the job done. They've got a winning DNA that is intertwined in every cell and every fiber in every being at that football club. And they know what to do from this point, barring catastrophic injuries. And you have to leave them out of predictions, because that's just, we know that if they lose half their squad, yes, they won't stay the course. But Liverpool are there to remain in my heart. I disagree with this Arsenal fan. I think Liverpool are there to stay.
Statement there.
It is a big statement, but I think we're better than Liverpool. And I said it after the Carabao Cup game when we lost. The man them are coming for me. Oh, we're better than you. No, you're not. It was a cup game. We've done you in the league. Yeah. So let's be real. This is the Premier League. This is what we're talking about right now. We are contenders, and anyone who deny it, you just don't watch Arsenal enough.
Yeah.
Because that.
Yeah, I agree with that. There's still people, there are some people, rivals especially, still denying it. And as we've looked at these videos today, Gary Neville saying, calm down, you are where you are, but nothing's changed with City dropping points. Lots of pundits now ignoring Arsenal. Listen, to a degree, ignore rivals. You don't have to. You can bite, but ignore them to a certain degree, because everybody, I think, is starting to come to that realization that Arsenal are the real deal. And win or lose the title this season, it's not as though Arsenal are disappearing next year either. What they're doing is sustainable.
At the end of the day, I think even City, in the back of their minds, are thinking, do you know what? Arsenal's a team we've got to watch out for. Not Liverpool, it's Arsenal.
Is that, I want to, sorry to cut you there, is that something that, teams should be saying? Like, they keep saying City can just go on this run.
No. I want them to let them continue.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry about what we're doing.
Oh,
We'll
okay.
come when it's time to come. We'll come. We'll show you what we're about when it's time to come. Innit?
Yeah.
But just know, if City were doing this, if City were winning 6-0, then going and winning, they would know. They would just, City's got the lead. It's one. But when it's Arsenal doing it, we don't get the respect we deserve, innit? So let it continue. Because when it's time to shine, we will come and shine.
It's an interesting take, because again, I don't watch most of these videos before I play them when I make this content. As you know, we don't edit it. You can tell by the way it's made. And I agree. I think that the title of this video from AFTV was City Fear Arsenal, not Liverpool. And that's obviously the take of this Arsenal fan. I don't know if Man City fear anybody. If I'm being absolutely honest, I don't think they'll sit there and go, scared of them. They definitely respect them. They definitely know Arsenal was serious. And as I say, the media has gone from this hating on Arsenal to very quickly in the last week or so gone to, well, we're just going to ignore them then and act like they're not doing it. All of it stems from the hatred and disdain and frustration of Arsenal doing well. But just as an outsider looking in, it's interesting. But I'll round this video off by saying this. City are not out of it because they dropped points, but it was seismic. Writing off Liverpool, writing off Arsenal at this stage, I think is absolutely wrong. Saying that they should just remain composed and keep doing what they're doing and they'll just be glad to be where they are. I think almost a little bit patronizing in a way. Arsenal and Liverpool are absolute top quality teams. City are the best. They're the best in the world. I'm not denying that for a single second. But Liverpool and Arsenal are only just below them. And the only thing that's stopping Arsenal, in my humble opinion, from being at City's level is partly experience across the squad and the manager. Maybe an absolute killer up front, like a Haaland as an example, and winning mentality in terms of getting over the line. But if you look at the tactics, you look at the dominance, you look how they control games, they're right up there. They absolutely are at this particular moment in time. It's going to make the title race exciting. I want to get your views and opinions on where Liverpool sit, where Arsenal sit in this. And by the way, there'll be a lot of comments going, oh, he's talking about Arsenal. A lot of this video has been about Liverpool and City as well. So I want your opinions on them. Don't just be triggered by Arsenal because you hear their name and go, why are you talking about Arsenal? I'm talking about all three. Why? Because they're in the title race, the biggest talking point in the Premier League. We're a Premier League channel. Why would we not talk about them? Drop your bitterness. Take care. Goodbye. God bless. See you all soon. Peace.